The state of Connecticut. A coastal state in the eastern seaboard of the U.S., consisting of only 8 counties. Famous for its beautiful fall foliage, its manufacturing industry, and is home to Yale University and channel ESPN. It's also home to some infamous urban legends. Here are 5 urban legends from the state of Connecticut. For our first urban legend from Connecticut. The Wicked Witch of Monroe. Buried in the Gregory Four Corners burial ground, lies the body of the Wicked Witch of Monroe, or Hannah Hovey, aka Hannah Cranna. Hannah was born in 1783 and married Captain Joseph Hovey, probably much older than she. They had no children. No whisperings of witchcraft followed her until her husband died suspiciously. He went out for a walk one night and fell over a cliff in an area he knew well. The townspeople of Monroe thought Hannah had cast a spell that confused Joseph Hovey enough to wander into an abyss. From then on she carried the nickname Hannah Cranna. According to modern legend, a spectral figure sometimes appears in the graveyard and causes passing cars to crash. Next up, the Circle of Life, Connecticut's Stonehenge. The Circle of Life is located on the property of a physician in Sachem's Head, Connecticut, and it is his own personal Stonehenge made of 700 tons of blue pearl Norwegian granite slabs planted on 11 acres overlooking Long Island. A living celestial calendar, the stones are laid out to chart sunrise and sunset on the first day of the seasons and other celestial events, along with the family's children's birthdays. Engineering and seismic studies were used to ensure the structure will last 10,000 years. Next, we have the Winstead Wild Man. The Winstead Wild Man made his first documented appearance in August of 1895, when the Winstead Herald reported that Riley Smith, a Board of Official member, stopped along the road to pick blueberries, accompanied by his bulldog. The dog became frightened of something, and ran to Smith, whining and cowering. Smith stated, a large man, covered with thick black hair jumped out of the bushes, yelling like crazy, and ran for the woods. In 1974, another sighting was reported at Rug Brook Reservoir, when some amorous couples had their soiree rudely interrupted by the large furry beast. The wild man allegedly rushed out of the forest and headed toward the car. This time the police were called in to investigate. When patrolman George Corso and one of the young men went back to the area to inspect, no evidence was found. The wild man hasn't been seen since. Number 4 on our list. Little People's Village. One story that goes back about a century ago, speaks of a man and his wife, who may or may not have been a witch, living peacefully in Middlebury when she started seeing small fairy folk in the woods around their home. To accommodate these pixie-like creatures, she demanded her husband build a tiny village. As the years passed and the village grew, the enchantment faded into madness. The abandoned miniature town is all that's left to mark the couple's anguished demise. For our final entry. The Jewett City Vampires. In 1854, the Ray family from Jewett City was plagued with a strain tuberculosis that ended up taking most of the family. The surviving members of the family were convinced that the disease was a curse from beyond the grave that made their deceased loved ones thirsty for their blood. They decided to exhume their relatives and burn their corpses in hopes to end the suffering. The tale would go on to inspire the Bram Stoker's classic, Dracula, and pose the question, do vampires walk among us? So, what do you think of Connecticut's urban legends? Did you enjoy our picks for this video? Drop a comment and let me know, and as always, thank you for watching.